I'm Adam Todd, and welcome to Classroom Dynamics, a teacher podcast. I've always believed that the best way to engage students in a 21st century classroom is to immerse them with the transformative tools that will empower each and every one of them to excel in the world that awaits. My goal is to ignite the spark that propels you and your students in an advanced tomorrow, and your journey into that future starts right now. Classroom Dynamics is supported by Logitech. As education continues to evolve, so does Logitech Education, your partner in content creation for the classroom. With Logitech's cutting-edge technology, students not only learn but also become content creators. Whether it's in person or online, Logitech's tools are designed to inspire educators and learners alike. Capture every educational moment in stunning detail and edit, produce, and share your creative journey with ease. Logitech Education, inspiring the next generation of creators. For more, visit logitech.com/education, transforming classrooms one innovation at a time. Introducing the Zone Learn wired headset from Logitech, the headset that's designed for learning and built for schools. Here are a few reasons why Zone Learn is the best headset option for today's students and schools. It's optimized to fit smaller heads with features like soft ear pads, a cushion headband, even weight distribution and micro-articulating ear cups that move in all directions. The audio driver is engineered for speech intelligibility, so spoken lessons come through crystal clear. And the movable boom mic is designed for better vocal clarity. It's durably designed to withstand frequent cleaning and constant wear and tear. My favorite aspect of the Zone Learn headset is that it's fully customizable and sustainable for both the environment and school budgets. The swappable ear pads come in over-ear and on-ear options. The interchangeable cables come in USB-A, USB-C, and audio jack options. This means that the ear pads and cables can be swapped out without replacing the entire headset. Plus, the Zone Learn is backed by a 3-year warranty, making it a smart, long-term investment for schools. Get your students into the learning zone with an elevated headset experience. Learn more at logitech.com/zonelearn.
For over 20 years, Higher Ground has designed functional technology protection, helping students to work or learn anytime, anywhere. I'm Mark, president of Higher Ground, and I want to share with you how you can get a free sample of any of our rugged shells, sleeves, or clear backpacks. Visit hggear.com/sample and use your school's email and address. One thing, don't tell Alex because he'll be stuck with all the paperwork. Request yours and see for yourself how Higher Ground can help save your students and school downtime and money. Just remember, don't tell Alex.
Mark, what are all these sample requests filling my inbox?
Welcome to Classroom Dynamics, the podcast where we get into the exciting world of technology and education. Hi everybody, I'm your host Adam Todd, and today we're diving into the world of Padlet, a dynamic tool that's transforming classrooms everywhere. Padlet is an online bulletin board that allows teachers and students to collaborate in real time. So imagine a digital canvas where users can post notes, images, links, and videos. It's an incredibly versatile platform that brings creativity, engagement, and collaboration to the forefront of education. So how can teachers utilize Padlet in their classrooms? Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Teachers can create interactive boards for brainstorming sessions from scratch, or they can choose from over 100 pre-built templates where students can post their ideas and build upon each other's thoughts. It's perfect for group projects, enabling students to share resources, track progress, and to even provide feedback to their peers. Padlet can also be used to curate digital portfolios where students showcase their work over time, reflecting on their growth and their achievements. One of the standout features of Padlet is its user-friendly interface. Teachers can easily set up boards and invite students to contribute, making it accessible for all grade levels and subjects. So whether you're organizing a discussion, conducting a Q&A session, or curating multimedia content for your lesson, Padlet provides a seamless way to keep your classroom connected and engaged. When we come back, we'll talk all things Padlet as we explore more innovative ways to integrate Padlet into your everyday teaching. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Are you a dedicated educator searching for fresh and engaging resources to inspire your students? Look no further than Highly Motivated on Teachers Pay Teachers. Discover a treasure trove of easy-to-use lesson plans, vibrant visuals, and interactive activities designed to captivate young minds and ignite their love for learning. Unlock the potential within your classroom with Highly Motivated, from differentiated lap books to test prep passages on a multitude of topics. Our wide range of materials cater to most elementary and middle school grade levels. Join the community of passionate teachers who have already transformed their classrooms. Visit Highly Motivated on Teachers Pay Teachers and get ready to inspire, motivate, and empower your students like never before. Highly Motivated on Teachers Pay Teachers, where knowledge meets inspiration. Sarah Waugh is the sandbox designer for Padlet, and Julia Carnes is a friend of Classroom Dynamics who briefly appeared on the show at the New York State Association for Computers and Technologies in Education Expo in 2023. I'd like to welcome both Sarah Waugh and Julia Carnes to Classroom Dynamics. Awesome to see you guys today. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
This is going to be so much fun because I totally love Padlet. I think it's one of the coolest things that a teacher could use, especially some of the new stuff. And some of the things that are featured on your website now are just amazing. Such visually amazing, engaging opportunities for kids, even to teachers. I think, even professional development for teachers to use Padlet, I think, is an awesome thing to do. But before we get started with Padlet and the sandbox and all the cool stuff that comes with it, Julia, before we do that, tell everyone what Padlet is and what Padlet's role could be in a classroom for teachers.
Yeah, of course. And thanks again for having us. We're excited. We're planning to be at NICE again this year. So we look forward to being on the pod again, hopefully in November.
I will see you there. I will see you there.
Perfect. But yeah, to take a step back, Padlet it's simply a platform with creative tools for visual thinkers and learners. You and a lot of your listeners probably know Padlet as a place for making beautiful boards to collect, organize, and present anything in real time. So, it's multimedia, it's collaborative, you can add anything and you can share it anywhere. Like you mentioned a little bit, we do have a new digital whiteboarding tool called Sandbox, which Sarah, my colleague who designed it, will be talking more about later. But I think, in the classroom, we think of Padlet as being able to do a number of things and to play a number of roles. And we typically break down those roles into three categories. First is collaboration. So, Padlet allows your students to very quickly collaborate online with each other. You can make a space for them in seconds, and you can capture discussions with text and images and video and all kinds of media. The second role we tend to think of it as playing is in creation. Padlet lets students create in a lot of ways. They have a lot of choices about how they can express their thinking. And then the final role that we think about is communication. Padlet lets you communicate ideas in a ton of different formats. We have standard walls, we have maps, we have timelines. And you can add visuals and sound and different media to engage students and kind of personalize their learning experience. So that's my Padlet in a nutshell.
Everything you just said is 100% true. It does incorporate all those components that I think teachers in a 21st century class really do appreciate, and I think are thirsty to use, because it almost becomes like a one-stop shop for them, right? So what are some creative ways that you can suggest that teachers use Padlet in their classrooms to, enhance that student engagement and collaboration? You kind of touched upon it a minute ago, just participation. The kids who don't want to participate because they're afraid to speak up now have a different kind of way, a different voice. Look, Padlet's is used by 40 million people, right? And it's used for visual creation and collaboration. Its purpose is to do that. So there's something special about it. So what could you say to teachers?
Yeah, of course. And, we get so many ideas from teachers. I think for every idea that someone tweets about or emails to us, there's like 100 other people doing 100 different creative things with it. So quick plug, if you have something you're really proud of, definitely share it. We get a ton of inspiration from our community, and we love collecting those examples so we can kind of redistribute them to other folks. But yeah, I guess to think about it in that same breakdown of collaboration and creation and communication, like you mentioned, collaboration happens all the time, but not everyone's comfortable raising their hand or putting their voice out there. So I think one powerful aspect of Padlet is that you give everyone a chance to share their thinking, and in whatever way they feel comfortable with. In addition to having text, we have video and audio recording. There's lots of different ways that students can contribute in whatever way they're comfortable doing. And I'll describe a few examples. We might do that today. Padlet's obviously a very visual tool. So if we do describe something that sounds interesting, feel free to reach out to us. We'll share some of our contact info later, but you can always reach out to us and we're happy to kind of share these examples and more. One really fun example we like to share is this student math word problems Padlet. And on this Padlet, in a math class, a bunch of students were prompted to write a real math problem from their life. So a lot of them involve candy or how heavy their backpack is or Pokemon cards. And so all the students were able to kind of contribute in a fun way. And it's a very vibrant, like kind of messy Padlet. One student said, I have 3 million pieces of candy and I split it with 5 of my friends. How many pieces does everyone get? And there's a GIF of Willy Wonka and the answer there. And as you scroll down, there's GIFs, there's videos. Some students just took photos of their work and they posted that as well. And I think it's a cool way just to kind of quickly demonstrate all the different ways that students can contribute in ways that they are comfortable. Some students just
using their voice
text,
again,
right? Yeah,
right? Using their voice
exactly.
because there they are. They're putting their own personalized touch onto that board, that creative, interactive, engaging board. And I think kids, when they do that, that really enhances, okay, like I'm proud of my work. I love doing this. And they really jump into it. So yeah, no, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but such an important part.
But
it really is such an important point, because there are too many kids that don't want to get, involved in whatever they're doing. And then it doesn't become fun or interesting to them. It becomes boring to them because their voice or their own personality is not put into it. And I think the fact that you can do that with Padlet just makes it all that much better.
Yes. And definitely something else that we've been working to add is like even more ways for students to add things in ways that they want to do. Like we've always had really great and robust searching capabilities for images and videos and GIFs. We have a camera and like screen recording and video recording. We've also added like AI image generation. So if students are looking to be even a little more creative, they can go in and add a text prompt and we can generate something really cool based on that.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little
That's
later,
awesome. That's awesome.
We also super recently added a text-to-speech generator. So if you're someone for whom English isn't your first language or you're looking to get some language practice in, you can add a text prompt and have it, spit out. And that's supported in, I think, over 40 languages. So it's like another way that students can have a voice, regardless of if they're comfortable with, how their voice is normally expressed. So yeah, that's a cool Padlet that I like to talk about.
I've seen a couple on the website, just some examples, and teachers can go to your website. We'll give that information out again, as you mentioned earlier, later in the show. But Padlet Jeopardy, I saw that. That was pretty cool and visually amazing looking. Awesome map skills and life cycle graphic organizers and KLW charts. I mean, there's so many really good visuals that I think they suck the kids in, and you've got them, and you can teach them anything at that point because they're there, they're present, they're engaged. You got them, right?
Totally. And kind of to that, we've also added a bunch of AI recipes or kind of AI templates, which is another way to kind of quickly increase engagement with not a lot of input. So, basically when you go to our website now and you go to create something, previously it was just like a blank page, right? Which works for some people, but can be intimidating, can take some time to create. We've now added these flows. So if you want to create a visually engaging timeline with, text and images, you can go to our website, give your grade level, your topic, any kind of like certifications or like certain standards you're trying to meet. And within a minute, we will generate for you a timeline of whatever it might be, a history of the Industrial Revolution, a history of World War II, history of rock and roll. And it's kind of like a foundation for you to edit and customize. Obviously with AI, it's important to like modify and vet what you're getting as your first result, but we're kind of giving you this foundation to say, okay, like here's 80% of the work. I just need to tweak these things, add my own resources, delete what's wrong. And now you have a super cool resource for students to access. And that's a tool that's only available for teachers. So, as we're trying to be thoughtful about incorporating AI, a funny behind the scenes moment is that we had a few of these AI board creations kind of like available to beta users. And we noticed that some students were trying to like answer their homework assignments with their prompts. So we very quickly said, no, we're only going to make that available to teachers because students are very clever, as you know. And that's a cool tool, I think, that teachers can use to kind of quickly make visually compelling, interactive, engaging resources to use in the classroom within minutes.
Well, you got the attention of a lot of teachers with just that alone because it's such a time saver, right? And there's so many things that are going on, so much time it takes to plan or prep or put together.
Yeah.
And if you could do that in 60 seconds or less, then, heck, everyone's in. I don't see why you wouldn't be.
Absolutely. I can share some more examples if that's great, or we can.
Sure. No, go for it.
Yeah, one more, I guess. So I think as we are thinking about student creation, we also have some really cool examples of students who are using Padlet to create visually compelling projects in ways that they think. And that can look like a number of things. I think we have some classic examples that are, they take the shape of a poster board. Students were collaborating on a project, and you can put posts right all over the page. We have some formats that kind of accommodate more of the true sticky note style, like the chaos thinking. So you can do something like that, or you can do something very organized. We actually have built into all Padlets now a slideshow feature. So if you are a student looking to create something that's visual, but Google Slides is a little intimidating, or you don't know how to make things look good, you can go to any Padlet and hit the play button kind of in the bar on the side, and we'll convert all of those posts into a slideshow, which is both good for students who are looking for a quick way to kind of create a presentation. It's also helpful as a teacher if you've collected artifacts of student work and you're looking to display them, whether it's at, back to school night, in the library, just to have something kind of going on in the background so you can discuss that work. We think that's another really powerful tool that both students and teachers can use to visualize their thoughts in a different way.
Right. No, it's such a time saver and so valuable in terms of really so many levels, right? I mean, it's so many things that a teacher, could use for it that just enhances everything that they're doing in every subject, all curriculum areas, different levels, different, learning styles. I mean, there's so much there that it really does pinpoint, which is really nice for a teacher to have at their fingertips.
Yeah, and I think that's the great thing one of the great things about Padlet is that it's pretty much grade level and content agnostic. You can bring anything to Padlet and it works for anyone. I mean, we have kindergartner teachers who are teaching their students like the basics, this is a plus button. This is how you log into things. This is how you use your Chromebook or your iPad or your tablet, right, to like post things online. And we also see usage all the way K-12 into higher education. We have a business school kind of out east that they don't give their kids a textbook. They say, this semester, you're going to make the textbook and you're going to use Padlet to do it. And that allows—
what a great idea right? that is.
Isn't that a crazy idea.
Oh, wait. So wait, go back to that for a second. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So teachers, if you just heard that, just pause it for a second. Wait, we're going to take a step back for a second. That is such a great idea. I mean, you're talking like sixth grade and up could totally do that. That is awesome. Go get into that. That's awesome.
Yeah, let's get into that. So, every unit, they say, great, we're going to teach you this material. And your project for the semester is to create the textbook that we didn't give you, because everyone thinks in a different way. They visualize things differently. And it really allows students to just run with it, right? You've got students who are very orderly and they're like, great, I'm going to make this shelf, and every section of my shelf is going to be a different chapter. And I'm going to break these down into different units. You've got people who are totally visual and they're like, I'm going to make this huge concept map and I'm going to connect everything. And it's all just going to be loose on the page with all these arrows to connect them. Some students prefer a chronological method. We have timelines and you can, create boards with multiple timelines. So they're kind of viewing all these things as happening sequentially. But it's just a really fascinating project that I think you're right. It's totally applicable to students grade 6 and up as a chance to synthesize the information they've learned and demonstrate how they are thinking about it in ways that their mind is seeing.
And then to even share it out with one another so that the learning really, it's not just this surface level learning anymore. Now you're truly going deep. You always hear people, let's dive deep into the, whatever topic. But it's true, because doing it that way can actually let you dive so deep into it that you're really going to get different perspectives and different pieces of information. And I think the learning then becomes more fun for them because they're teaching each other versus, like you said, here's the boring textbook.
Totally. Yeah. They're translating it for each other, right? That's way more compelling than any textbook could ever be.
That's so cool. I'm glad you mentioned that because that's like a home run for teachers. I think that's great.
Right.
Sarah, so let's go into like the whole Padlet sandbox here, right? So Google Jamboard is something that Google decided not to continue with. However, Padlet Sandbox is a new feature for Padlet that is a great alternative to Google Jamboard. So how does the Padlet Sandbox support differentiation and differentiated instruction and cater to diverse learning styles and needs? Let's give teachers some entry points in and helping them get the idea of how to differentiate with Padlet and the Padlet Sandbox just as a tool itself.
While Padlet Sandbox shares some similarities with Google Jamboard, we didn't stop at just replicating it. We've built in unique features designed to empower every type of learners. For instance, Sandbox allows students to contribute in ways that suit them best, whether that's through text, images, or even anonymous posts, which is perfect for shy students. For those working on language skills, they can add audio to practice pronunciations. And for students who might be hesitant to speak out loud, the AI speech feature gives them a voice without the anxiety of public speaking. And another exciting feature is the ability to create interactive books, which lets students combine different media types into one cohesive project that is shareable. This is fantastic for creative assignments, group projects, or even as a way for students to showcase their learning in a more dynamic and personalized way. We designed those features to make Sandbox an incredibly inclusive tool, enabling teachers to meet each student's individual needs and learning preferences. And we offer such flexibility to enhance the learning experience, to ensure that all the students can be engaged and then succeed in their own ways.
You mentioned the audio in that. So could a student leave like an audio message for another student, or a teacher drop in an audio message or response?
Yeah, of course.
So the feedback there could actually be audio then for the kids, which is kind of cool.
Could be audio or even video.
Oh, or video. Drop the mic, right? I mean, what else can we do with this? This is awesome stuff. That's so cool. Julia, in what ways can Padlet streamline a teacher's workflow, and how could it impact their ability to manage and organize classroom activities? We kind of touched upon this before, but how could they do that in such a way that workflow on all levels, not just AI, could actually help them out?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're kind of touching on it. Like, we're in the wake of some beloved tools like Jamboard, like Flipgrid going away. I think it's been kind of a big year. Those are some pretty big tools with turnover. And I think more than ever, we view Padlet as a way to do a lot of things in one place. And we're working to do more. It was really exciting, again, like a little peek behind the curtain. A lot of those Flipgrid features that we put out, video comments, auto captioning, and some more things that are coming. We're working soon to limit kind of the length of time that you can leave an audio or video recording for, another Flipgrid feature. Those things were all on our roadmap already, frankly. You know, we were going to get to them. But when Flipgrid announced that they were going away suddenly, you know, we were able to say, great, we're going to drop everything else and we're going to prioritize those things because those folks are going to need a home come this fall.
Yep. I was just going to say that because it's a great point that you bring up, because these were two, I guess, the pandemic born kind of tools, if you want to go that far, that some teachers, including myself, I love Flipgrid. I thought that was such a great idea. Jamboard I thought was a fantastic idea. And then to have it pulled away when you could do really great stuff was kind of hard to hear. And like, wow, okay, really? You're getting rid of that? That's, it's such a great free tool for teachers. But when Padlet started to get into that, I thought, okay, good. At least it's going to live on in a different form, but the same idea, that you can actually take things and put things up visually and now audio and video as well. But it just makes it makes sense. But it's a great point you bring up.
Yeah. So I think for me, like the overarching thing there is that evermore and always, you can do so many things with Padlet. We have Sandbox, our digital whiteboard. We have video and audio recording for discussions. There is AI features, there's slideshows, there's maps, there's all these things. So there's a lot of depth to it. So I think that we are really hoping to prioritize like maintaining the quality of our core stuff while adding a lot of depth for people who need a one-stop shop. Maybe their school only has so much funding to purchase a plan. And for us to be able to say, okay, well, you can do Padlet, you can do all these other things in one place. That's just nice. Like, I've signed up for 3 new products this week and I'm like, I can't do anymore. Like, I'm already learning so much, and that's me, and I'm not an educator. Like, it's exhausting to have to learn new things and like new processes. So like, even Sandbox, we like to think of it as Jamboard, all the features of Jamboard you love, with all the Padlet things that you also know and love. It has the same attachment options, so you can add audio and video and text. It has the same sharing options, so if you want students to log in before they access, you can do that kind of thing. Soon you'll be able to export it in the same way. So that's kind of one overarching theme. I think other ways that Padlet can streamline is that, it's super easy and quick to create a space. It's kind of the fastest way to put something on the internet. You go to Padlet.com, you make a board, you share the link. You can share a QR code, you can share the link. If you drop it in Google Classroom, however you're sharing other activities, it's just so fast to go from nothing to creation. I think our AI tools are helpful to help teachers kind of generate content quickly. And it's adaptable. So we're creating things that teachers can use as a jumping point to edit and customize to make, more legitimate or to add, more context for their students. And I think we've added a lot of resources like templates or the ability for you to make templates so you can quickly reuse and adapt content for different classes. No one's teaching one class. If you have 5 classes in the same section, you can say, great, I made my one template. I'm going to remake a whole bunch of copies for this day. And then in a year from now, it's a living document. If in a year from now, 80% of the content's still relevant, but you need to update a few things, it's really easy to go back and say, great, I'm going to delete this post, add 2 new ones, and now I can make copies for this year's class. And it just allows you to kind of integrate information on a current, live basis.
What a great way to mash up all these different platforms and put it into yours, right? And give teachers so much that they could pick from that it's actually not overwhelming, because if you're comfortable using a Jamboard feature, that's what you would end up using. And if you're comfortable of just putting together a board, that's what you're going to use it for. And then you can actually learn as you go and expand slowly if you want, or as quickly as you like. But it gives teachers so many different levels. I mean, that the multi-level universe kind of Padlet, if that could be such a phrase, that's really cool. That it gives them that opportunity to kind of expand and go in lots of different directions.
Totally. And I feel like I haven't even mentioned any of the 20 million new features we released this year. There's so much depth to it, but it is really easy to get started. I think it's really easy. You go to the website and you click make a Padlet and you click the plus button to add something. It's so simple, but like you're saying, it really does have that depth, and we're adding a lot of robust features. So people who do understand the basics but are looking for a little more can have those capabilities while still trying to leave it really simple, for people who are just using it as a quick place to have discussions or make an exit ticket. So
and
I think
I love the spectrum of it too. The spectrum of that. You can use it with a first grade class. You can use it with a middle school science class. You could use it with a high school English class. I mean, you really have this wide spectrum. And then to throw in the Sandbox, and how cool is it, by the way, to have, Sarah here, who created it on the show, telling us about it, that just gives teachers on so many different educational levels the opportunity. I mean, even like you said, going into higher education and colleges and universities, and there's so many different and fun ways you can do it professionally too. We touched upon that before, just having teachers drop in something on a professional development level. But that brings me to my next question though. Okay. So does Padlet provide learning opportunities through professional development so that they can, truly get the most out of the program? There's a lot, right? There's a lot. It can go deep, so that their classrooms become this, like you said, this robust place for learning. But before you answer that, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back in 30 seconds and we'll answer that. So stay tuned. We'll be right back right after this. Every classroom has the potential to be extraordinary, and the Logitech Reach adjustable content camera is your partner in making that happen. With its flexible arm and clear video, you can now showcase everything from detailed drawings to live experiments, ensuring that every student is engaged and involved. Whether you're teaching in person or online, Logitech Reach helps you connect with your students in a whole new way. Ready to take your lessons further? Visit logitech.com/reach and elevate your classroom to a whole new level. Welcome back to Classroom Dynamics. Before the break, I asked you about professional development opportunities for teachers who are interested in Padlet. So how does Padlet support teachers in that regard?
Yeah, so I've got a bunch of ways that we're kind of providing different training opportunities and learning opportunities. Actually, this year we were blessed with Zareen, who's joining us. She started with us this January. She's our professional learning specialist, and she's joining us after a nice tenure at San Francisco Unified School District. So she's really helping us kind of build out the program. And we've started it in a few ways that I'll describe, but if you have any ideas or questions or feedback, we certainly solicit those, and I'll kind of give you some ways that you can get in touch with us. So the first and most exciting opportunity is that kind of this year we've started to do some Padlet sessions, kind of like some 30 to 60-minute webinars led by Zareen and sometimes co-led by other products, where we talk about using Padlet in different ways or go over the basics of Padlet. And we have 3 upcoming sessions, mostly dedicated to supporting Flipgrid and Jamboard users who are looking for a new home. We're also going to be having a session about our AI features. The best way to find out about those is padlet.link/sessions, which I'll give to you. Maybe it can go in the description of this podcast. You can also go to our Twitter, and we'll be promoting those there, and you can find the registration links. So those are going to be some live sessions we'll be having. I believe the first one about Flipgrid will be on September 18th. And we'll kind of be doing them on that Wednesday and the following Wednesdays, those 3 sessions. And if you can't make it to the live session, you can either register and we'll send you the recording, or you can go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Padlet, where we've uploaded recordings of all the previous sessions. And these ones will also be uploaded there.
Professional development at your fingertips.
There you go.
Right? While you're running on the treadmill, you could listen in. That's not a bad idea.
That's true. And on YouTube, you can do it at like 1.5 speed, right? So you can really have a lot of, information flowing. And yeah, on our YouTube, you can also find other use case videos and tips and tricks, just general information about different features we have. We also have a knowledge base and a blog, which you can find respectively at padlet.help and padlet.blog. The knowledge base is just a place where if you have a quick question and you want to search for it, it's an easy way to find answers to those questions. Our blog is a little bit more oriented towards announcements of new features. So if you're looking to just kind of stay up to date about the coolest and latest at Padlet, that's a good way to do it. And we also have now built into Padlet something that's new this year that we're still developing, is we have a Learn dashboard. So if you log into Padlet.com, you'll notice at the top, there's a new tab. It's called Learn. Right now, it's kind of focused on 2 things. One is that we have some of those use case videos featured. So if you're looking to build a specific type of board or just see a new way to use Padlet, you can see some of those use cases there. We also have videos for every individual feature. So if you've heard about our breakout links feature, but you're not really sure how to access that, or you're curious about AI image generation, you can find those features on that page. Watch a quick video about how to do that feature or use it. And then you'll be equipped with tools. We're hoping to add kind of a layer of user mastery to this later this year or in the beginning of next year. So stay tuned for that, just a way to kind of prove that you're up to date with your Padlet skills. So that's kind of all of our different ways that you can get professional development. As far as contacting us, there's a number of ways on our knowledge base at padlet.help. There's a contact form. That is typically the fastest way to get in touch with us. Our support team is like around the clock, 24/7, any time zone, they're around. So feel free to reach out to those folks anytime and they'll get back to you within a few hours. On socials, we're at Padlet. We've got a Twitter, a Facebook, a Reddit. We've had some questions in the Reddit recently, so feel free to join that community. We also have a Telegram and a WhatsApp if you're just looking for more like passive updates, as well as a Discord. And you can always email us at hello@padlet.com. You can also email me at ladyj@padlet.com. And if it can't be solved over email, we're super happy to get on the phone or schedule a Zoom session. We really want to be available for folks, and especially right now as we're kind of getting really into earnest into back to school time. We want to be available for people to kind of help them dig in, troubleshoot any issues they're having, and make sure that they're equipped for the school year.
That is so great. I was going to ask you how teachers could get started right away, because it is pretty straightforward, right? Padlet.com, right? And just jump right in, start a board, hit the plus sign, jump. That's the best way. But I love that there's so many, and I'm sure teachers appreciate this and really are soaking that in, that the fact that you do provide not just it's kind of like a Padlet board, for lack of a better term here, but multi-leveled ways to access professional development to help them engage with their kids. And I think that's such a great way to do it, because look, if you don't know how to use it, you're not going to use it. If you're worried that you're not going to do it correctly, you're not going to use it. But if you see a quick 2-minute tutorial on something very small and simple that you can implement in your classroom right away, boom, there you go. And now you've learned that one. And now you're interested in trying and expanding and doing something else.
Absolutely. Yes. And we are definitely, and again, that's why those examples are so important, because it really allows us to update those trainings and to be able to provide, fresh content for people who are coming back. That's why those Padlet sessions are so cool. Like, it's been cool to watch Serene develop the program and to go to our YouTube and see all of those develop over time, because all of them have unique and fresh ideas, because we're trying to stay current too. So it's really helpful for us to know what people are doing.
Yeah. Look, it's like I said, I love it. And I'm sure, 40 million other teachers or users apparently love it too. So this has been so much fun talking about Padlet today. Before we go, we're going to play a game that I like to call input output. All I'm going to do is ask you a question and just give me the first thing that comes to your mind.
All good.
All right, let's try it. So Julie, I'll start with you. What's one app on your phone that you just can't live without?
I'll just go with what I was going to say first. Partiful. I deleted my Facebook a few years ago. It used to be my main way I got invited to events. I was introduced by my cool younger sister, very Gen Z, to this app called Partiful, which is like a party invite. That's really all it's for. It's just for creating invites to parties and events. And it's been pretty incorporated into my life. They have cute little gamification. It says, you've been to 6 events, you've shared 11 events with this person, and that's all it's for. It's very simple. And I like the creativity that comes with it.
And you can't live without it. I love it. That's great. I'm going to have to check that out myself. Sarah, what's the coolest thing you have ever seen done with Padlet?
We've seen this really nice icebreaker Padlet sandbox people are building, love it or hate it game. So people just drop a topic in text into the middle of a blank sandbox, and then the participants are writing their names into like post notes, and then just move around the post notes into like a spectrum thing to express their love or hate around that topic given.
It's a great way to icebreak, right? Because let's be honest with you, when there's teachers and they've never met each other or anybody in any profession, nobody really likes to do the icebreaker. It's true. No one does. So whoever comes up with these icebreakers, we don't like doing them too much, but if you could do it in a fun, interactive way where you're not putting yourself out there too much, I think you probably get more interest, right? That's really cool. Let's go for both of you. First, we'll start with you, Julia. If you can go back in time and give your 10-year-old self one piece of technology from today, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a great question. Like, definitely not a phone, not much, like maybe no technology at all. I think that my 10-year-old self was like reading a lot of books, and I don't know that she needed any new technology. Let me think about that for like 3 more seconds to make sure I think that's true.
Maybe your invite app is probably going to be the one, since you can't live without it.
I mean, paper and pen. I was a big pen pal girl, so wow, that's a great question.
There's something about pen and paper, though. It's true, though. It's true. Something about pen and paper that makes it a little bit more special and different.
Yeah, I think that's true. I don't think my 10-year-old self needed more technology. If anything, like, I needed a little less. It was like my computer at home had internet definitely, but it was more restricted. So I have a lot of memories of sleepovers where I'd be the last one up, like tending to my Neopets and checking on my like MySpace that I made furtively. So I think that, I don't think that my 10-year-old self needed more technology.
Sarah, what about you?
For me, I think it would be iPod because I like how they look. I like their colors. And then I also grew up like listening to music. So I like the feeling of it's so portable that you can carry the music in your pocket.
Yeah. Julia, what's one of your favorite Padlet templates?
Oh man, it's not a template yet, but you mentioned earlier the sandbox Jeopardy game. That one I made lovingly. It was really fun. I made it in advance of ISTEs, so I think the original one was like ISTE themed, but it kind of goes back to the linking that Sarah was mentioning. You can just create like this really robust like network of links within your thing. So that is a fun almost template. Another template I like our video discussion template, because also it was involved. It's really funny if you go to our templates page, you can create those templates, but you can also see examples of them. And a lot of them, actually most of them were all made in-house. And so it's fun, the ones that I like legitimately got to contribute to. Our video discussions board is about like, what's your favorite season and why? And I recorded a video there and like left some video comments, and it was just a fun one that we made internally. So that one holds like a special place in my heart. And I think that our video comments are like super cool. So that's another template that I like.
Awesome. Well, listen, again, this has been so much fun. What a great conversation. I love learning about how teachers could effectively, I mean, that's the key word, right? Effectively use Padlet in such a meaningful way and even practical way, right? So such great stuff today. Thank you so much for being here. Before we go, just tell everyone again where they can go to get started, to find out more about Padlet and all your socials again.
Yeah, of course. So if you're new to Padlet or you haven't used it in a while, just go to padlet.com. You can sign up for free with your Google or Microsoft email. Super easy. If you have any questions, you can go to padlet.help. That's our knowledge base, which also has our contact form. You can reach out to us directly at hello@padlet.com or on any social media channel at Padlet. If you send us a Twitter DM, I will be the one answering it. Hi, I'm Julia. So feel free to drop me a line. If you have any fun facts to share, I will be there.
I would love to also see people's ideas in, like how they're using it online. I love seeing that stuff. Well, listen, for those of you who've been listening, thank you for tuning in today, and make sure that you share what you've learned or any takeaways or reflections that you've had, and tag us on Twitter at Class Dynamics or Instagram at Classroom Dynamics Podcast. We always look forward to hearing your thoughts on our episodes, especially this one, and sharing the different ways in which you're using what you've learned. You can also help support Classroom Dynamics with as little as $3 a month at classroomdynamicspodcast.buzzsprout.com. Once again, I'd like to thank Julia Carnes and Sarah Wah of Padlet for joining us today on Classroom Dynamics. Such a pleasure having both of you on with us to talk about such a great way to have your kids work collaboratively and most of all in a fun and interactive way. So thank you for joining us, and thank you for the time today.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Adam.
Nice.
Awesome. Great show. And that brings us to the end of this episode of Classroom Dynamics, where knowledge and inspiration meets innovation. I hope you've enjoyed today's discussion and found it both insightful and uplifting. As always, my goal is to provide you with practical strategies, engaging stories, and powerful insights that can fuel your motivation as an educator. I believe that when knowledge and inspiration do come together, incredible things can happen in your classroom. And for all of you who may think that it's too late to strengthen your craft, I challenge you to make it your mission to do so. You've worked hard to get to where you are today, and it's never too late to infuse new life into your work. So why not make today that day to do so? I'm Adam Todd, and you've been listening to Classroom Dynamics, a teacher podcast. You can follow Classroom Dynamics on X at Class Dynamics and on Instagram at Classroom Dynamics Podcast. If you haven't already, go to Apple Podcasts and subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. We'll be back soon with more captivating conversations, inspiring stories, and strategies that you can implement into your everyday routines. Until then, keep igniting the spark in your classroom and never stop believing in the incredible impact that you have as an educator. You're more powerful and inspirational than you think. Did you miss our ISTE Live 2024 specials? If so, catch up on all the excitement and innovation from days 1 and 2 on the conference floor from the Colorado Convention Center in Denver, Colorado. In these episodes, we brought you inspiring conversations with educational technology leaders from BrainPop, Merlin Mind, Higher Ground Gear, Promethean, Kami, Kahoot, Typing.com, and more. So whether you're a tech enthusiast or just curious about the future of ed tech and education, this episode was packed with valuable insights and actionable takeaways. Don't miss out. Tune in now to get inspired and elevate your teaching game.